Hey there, in this video, I'm going to share with you how to not get scammed in cryptocurrency. A lot of people are buying a lot of small cap altcoins because they believe they have so much potential. There's so much hype around them. People blast them on social media, and then they end up putting a lot of money into them and end up losing. And if I can help more people not lose in crypto, I'm going to help people win, because the number one way to make a lot of money in cryptocurrency is to literally limit your losses. If you can manage to not lose money, you're going to do very, very well. But the problem is the majority of people cannot manage to not lose money. So I want to share with you a few things that I look into when doing fundamental research, a little bit on the technical side, and then a lot of deep dive into their team. And I just found a project that is a scam. I actually found this last week or maybe 10 days ago, and decided not to invest for these reasons. And now we're seeing it exactly play out. So I'm like, I got to at least shoot a video about this, right? So first of all, I do want to share a screen with you so you guys can at least see what I am talking about. We'll start with the project that we're actually looking into today, which is Solanax. So I'm going to go through the project right now, go through the team, go through like how to actually look at this, and then I'm also going to bring up some really, really important things at the end where I talk about things to not do when investing in crypto, which will help you, again, make a lot of money. Because if you manage to not lose money, you can make a lot of money. So this is the project we're looking at. It's Solanax. It's SLOD. A lot of, first of all, scam projects will just use the same name as the project. So just be a little aware of that. It doesn't mean that it's not. It helps the project get marketed easier. So I'm not saying that that's a sign at all. I don't believe, like, for example, ADAX is a scam at all. But it's an easy way to just throw up a name. So just look at that to start. Secondly, I'll look at the rank, right? What is the rank actually at? Well, this has a really small rank, so it's likely really high risk. I like to look at the market cap. Okay, it's 2.7 million. Apparently, it's 2.7 million. But if you look at this, the CMC team has not verified the project's market cap. So anytime there is this little red symbol here, that means that CMC or CoinGecko has not actually verified that is real. So it's literally just the team or whatever they're pulling the data from, an exchange that's crappy. It's who knows if they're reporting the right data. And then a really important thing is to, when you're looking at a project too, is to also look at the volume. You want to see high amounts of volume on a project that has a healthy market cap. If it has a lot of volume and the price is going down and has a really small market cap, that probably means it's being sold off, which actually, relative to its market cap, it has a lot of volume. So that's exactly what's happening right now, is it's being sold off. But you do want to see like healthy amounts of volume on projects, because that means that people are actually interested in it. People are actually trading it, okay? Then I will also go look at its circulating supply. So again, this has not been verified, so really none of this info really matters at all. But I do like to see more of the tokens actually released in circulating supply. There's only, let's see, 14 million released out of 80 million, which isn't very good. So I'd like to see more of the tokens released. Doesn't mean it's a scam, doesn't mean at all, but I do like to see more of the tokens released out of the max supply, just a higher percentage than that, which, again, this is just self-reported, so who the heck knows if it's even true. Big red flag. The first thing right off the bat are these big wicks right here. So if we look in, first of all, it only goes back to August like 21st, so this project was like just released. But if you go back, look at these wicks. It brings the price all the way down to nothing, to literally zero. So this is a big red flag. If there's huge spikes in the price, I do not like to see that whatsoever. And then that's about as much as you want to look at on CoinMarketCap. They're not going to have much ratings or anything on really small cap coins. There's no way for them to do that. So then we would go to their site. All right, their site. It's a little bit weird. It's already, so actually one other thing you maybe want to look at is the actual exchange that it is listed on, which You can just go down to markets. So it's only listed on X markets, which does not mean that it's a scam at all. But X markets is an IEO where it's an initial exchange offering exchange where a lot of new projects get listed on, and they don't really do much due diligence into the project. So just realize that if it was listed on Coinbase, on Binance, on some more reputable exchanges, it's likely past their due diligence. So let's see. ADAX is also a scam, you said. No. ADAX is not a scam to my knowledge at all. They have real people behind the project. So no, I do not think ADAX is a scam. I still have a lot of ADAX in my own portfolio. But let's go to their site real quick. So they have a real flashy site. I'm not going to waste your time going through everything. It's really, really just basic information. Like there's not much. First of all, their roadmap only goes over 2 quarters. So early Q3 and then Q3 again and then Q4. So their vision and their roadmap for the project is literally 6 months, which is not a good sign. So then their ecosystem, blah, blah, blah. Core team. All right, I like that they have their core team listed here. That's awesome. I'm glad they have pictures of them. They should also have it linked to their LinkedIn or at least one of their social medias. I would prefer they have their last name on here as well, but they just put a letter here, which we'll go into here in a second. And then I do like to see this. So the economics behind it, which again, this is self-reported. So no one knows if this is actually verified. But I do like to see the team with smaller amounts of the supply of the token. So this is good to see that the team has 5%. All right. But again, this is not verified information. So they can put whatever they want on this site. It's a clean looking site. It actually looks good. But from here, I would want to go into their Twitter, into their different platforms, into Telegram, see what people are saying in their Telegram channel. What's the overall sentiment in their Telegram channel? And then look at their Twitter as well. Like how active is the Twitter? I'm not going to go into it, but how active is it? Are they just like hyping up the coin saying, oh, this is going to happen. Oh, we might do this. Or are they actually forming real partnerships with real companies? Is there real volume going through it? Are they posting real data? Those are the things that I'm also looking for. And then you need to, this is the most important part, which before we get into that, we'll look at their white paper. Which, by the way, guys, anytime you're looking into a project, you need to go through their white paper. You need to make sure that the words actually make sense, okay? That it's not some random person typing up a bunch of gibberish. So literally read through it, make sure it makes sense, make sure the time frames on when they're saying make sense, and cross-reference it with their website. You usually would like to see somewhat of the team on here. You want to see the same thing as their website, so that for the most part checks off. Their roadmap, again, a little bit longer. They have actually going into, okay, so they have it going into 2022, so a little bit better. And they have a disclaimer. So this is a pretty short white paper. It doesn't really say a ton. Obviously, we didn't just read through the entire thing. But overall, I mean, I would rate this like a C+ or a B, if I actually, depending on how if this is just a bunch of gibberish or if it's actual data that's important, that would determine whether I'd rate it higher or not. So let's go into the most important part, which is their team. So right off the bat, I would start with their CEO because that's usually the founder, the thing that you want to actually see. So I would go look into their CEO and then go down the line and look at other executive positions in their team. Right off the bat, the reason why I know this is a scam is because this. So first of all, he's working with a different team now, Kodai Finance Co. And you can see right here, I will make a brief and straightforward announcement. I'm resigning from Solanax due to personal reasons. That's why I haven't been active with you guys here. Don't worry. Let's look at the whole post. Don't worry, I've left Solanax in the gold hands of our CTO, Medagalis, who will continue to grow and expand the platform over time. From now on, I will be concentrating my efforts elsewhere. For the last time, stay strong, soldiers. So the CEO just left the project to go for personal reasons, but he's going to work on a different DEX, which is Kodai Finance. So I would absolutely not invest into this. Let's see how many people are working here now. So 0 employees. So we'll probably just create another pump and dump and dump some people right into the garbage. So that's a not good sign to see their CEO leaving. So when you get to, let's say that this is not a real person, let's actually go look at the company. So let's go to Solanax. Okay, they actually have decent employees. They have 8. All right, that's not too bad. But then I would go one by one through their employees and see, are they actually real employees? So first of all, let's go back to the man himself, whatever the heck this guy's name is, and look at his activity. So does he have any activity? Okay, he posted once 2 hours ago resigning, and he liked 1 post. Okay, well, that's great to see. So that's not a good thing to see with 0 activity. And then I like to look into who is actually endorsing them for the skills that that is actually, claiming to endorse him for some type of skills. So I'll look at this and I'll say, all right, who is actually endorsing this person? And I'll click on them. Well, this is a news coverage guy that looks to be out of India. And it looks like he is just a PR person. So that's not a good sign. Let's look at the other person. Oh, she's also a PR person out of India. So this guy just got, probably fake PR done. And then he said, hey, can you go endorse me on LinkedIn? So he endorsed himself there. Then another thing I would do is I would go actually look up this person's name. So I'd copy their name and I would Google search them. And I would like to look at images. So are there any more images of this person? No, there is not. There's this one on his LinkedIn. You can see it's from LinkedIn. But all the other ones are of this guy that has this beard. And let's go actually look at this guy and see what he's about. Because it turns out that he is the actual real whatever the heck this name is. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. But if you go on look in LinkedIn, he is the real deal. He's the real person. He actually has a real company and all those things. So, nothing else came up on his name. There's no other photos of him online. He has no activity. His PR is from fake Indian people overseas. Maybe they're real. I don't know. But they're from PR people. That's the only endorsements he has. His interests are very basic. They're just on basic, the school he apparently attended and some other basic, crypto projects. So that's really not a good sign. From there, you wouldn't even need to really go into their other, this guy, the CTO that he left it in good hands with, he has 10 connections. So that's a great thing to see. 10 connections on LinkedIn and that has 0 endorsements. So that's also not a good sign to see. And let's just look at his activity. Nothing. And let's look up his name. Remember, this is the gold hands. This is the gold hands that the project is in, guys. We can rely heavily on this. A lot of times they will pick up names of other actors or entrepreneurs in order to make sure you can't find any information on them. So I don't see, here he is right here. It's a dark photo. You can't really see his face that well, but you can tell he's a big guy with a big nose. And he is also not on here. And then if we just look down here, I'm not even going to go through this. I already know it's fake. So that's a big scam, to be honest. You want to go through their team. Another funny thing I did on LinkedIn is this is what I'll do. I will literally message these people. So if you go back to their team, okay, the head of customer service, Gabrielle here, you'd think she would answer customers, don't you think? Maybe if you're in customer service. And then Monica from Human Resources. Monica, you should be on top of your stuff, girlfriend, if you're going to be hiring. And if you're going to be hiring, you're probably looking for great talent because it's such a fast expanding, DEX, right? So they're going to be hiring a lot of people. So I'll go there and actually ask them, hey, Gabrielle, I just want to briefly connect about the project, blah, 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 and the expected date of the full launch of the DEX. Up, nothing. Hey, Monica, is Solanax hiring? Up, nothing. Because they're also fake profiles, which also will be a good example. She has 256 connections, and then you go and look at their activity, and all of the activity is just liking different posts that are just like really random. So they won't really comment on anything. If they comment, it'll be like one word, but they'll just like a bunch of random posts to make the profile look like a real profile. It's literally just all liking posts, and that's it. So there's nothing else. So that is another way to look at it. Is the biggest way to look is at the team. I'll show you guys a few other things. Also, you can go to isthiscoinascam.com and literally go look up the project and see what they are rating it. With early stage projects, they don't know too much on the project, so like they won't have like a ton of data as far as like a statement and a full report on the project, but they will have like basic stuff like the sentiment, they'll rate the community, they'll rate the volume, like I was talking about earlier, the actual volume. And this is rated really low. It's a 2.23. It's very poor. So as you can see that. And then, yeah, those are major things. Another thing you actually want to look at is GitHub. So this is where people will store, software. So they'll like write all their code of a project on GitHub. And if you search a product name or a project name and then GitHub, you can then go to actually GitHub and actually look at projects being built. This one does not actually have anything because Solanax probably has literally no code behind it. But not every project is built on GitHub, so I don't want you to think that that's the only thing. But it is, good to at least look into see if it has a GitHub, see if they're active, see who you can actually see the people that are writing the code, like who's actually writing the code, and all of that. So that is Solanax. So they are not real. I would follow whatever project that guy is creating and not invest in that because, they're a scam. They use pretty good LinkedIn profiles and they make everything look good. They make it look like they've worked with different companies. And if you actually go and click on the different companies, they're usually not much of a company. They have 2 employees, or they'll just say that they're working for like major companies when they really didn't, because you can pretty much say anything. But the endorsements, the activity, the connections, all those things are really, really important. And then I'll say the last thing, guys. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you can manage to not lose money, you will make a lot of money in crypto. So like I'm telling you, just work on not losing money in crypto, okay? And the way that you can do it is literally one of the easiest ways is to just invest in the top 10 by market cap. They've made it that far, okay? The industry is rapidly growing. If there's a large market caps, that means there's a lot of money in the project, and that usually means there's a lot of people and possibly even institutions behind it. So at least they've gained the credibility up into that point. Or maybe you expand in the top 100. But if you want to pick small caps, I'm telling you, you're taking a whole nother risk on that. And then just proper portfolio allocation. Like maybe this is you. Maybe you're like you want intermediate growth and you want to have, maybe you have 3% in small caps. You're using 2% of your portfolio for trading. You have another, 10 in mid caps, which I consider on the coin market cap between 100 and 200. And then maybe your large caps make up 25% of your portfolio and you have 60% in Bitcoin, right? Or maybe you're a little bit more high growth. You're shooting for like a 700% average return and you're looking at more of like a 3%, of 5% in small caps, 12% mid caps. So just proper portfolio allocation based on how much risk you want to take. The further you're going down on these market caps, so the larger this number is right here, that means the less capital it has in the project, the riskier it is. All right. So just realize there's more risk in projects that don't have much traction. They sometimes don't have traction because they're either really early stage or they're just not good projects. If you can find one that are early stage that are good projects that have a small market cap, you can make a lot of money. But I'm telling you, you got to understand like this little relationship here with risk and reward. So let's say you're looking at a project that's going to do
100,000%, right? That's what someone told you is going to do. What you got to realize is you're on a seesaw effect here. So when the risk is lowered, the probability of success likely increases. And when risk increases, the probability of success usually decreases. So if you're taking massive risk with a lot of projects, just because you're shooting for this moonshot of 100,000% return, well, the probability of that actually becoming a 100,000% return is likely lower. So you need to look at the expected return of the project, not just like, oh, this is what someone said it could possibly do because it has a small market cap. All right. So anyways, I will let me look at. I've already went through like the whole 8ax team, by the way. So like, I don't feel worried about 8ax at all. They're at what, 121. First of all, a healthy pullback is absolutely necessary when it erupts. But let's go. I'm not going to do a deep dive on them because I don't have too much time. But if you go look at their actual, like, let's just do a real brief look at their CEO. Okay, he's in Germany. He has 500 connections. That's good to see. I actually have some mutual connections. That's also good to see. He's got a lot of activity. He's got 11,000 followers, which is good. Let's actually look at his recent activity. He liked a photo. What did he? Oh, he reposted this, which is good. You want to see them actually posting things. He liked this photo. Like that, blah, 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 like that. Commented on this. It's good to actually see comments. Let's see, like that. Commented on this, happy birthday with this guy. Let's see if he's actually a reputable guy. Yeah, he has 31,000 followers. So like, yeah, like this guy for the most part, let's see how like far his activity goes as well. Let's see if we can find. One good thing to find is like really old comments as well. So let's see here. Come on, old man. Come on, Timo. 3 months ago, he's posting things about this other company, which is still looks like a fintech based company. Likes this. Let's also search his name. Come on, Timo. Let's go, bro. Let's look at his images. Across the board, he's got a fair amount. There he is right there. Sugar Daddy Doge. What the heck? Is this him? Sugar Daddy Doge. Passive income meme. Okay, this is just a meme. So that's not that's hilarious. ICO bench. Interesting. I would like to see more photos of him. Here he is right here, actually, I think. So this is a nice old photo of him. That's good to see. So yeah, I mean, overall, and if you look at his LinkedIn profile, he does not, where is he, Timo? He looks pretty real. So let's look at his endorsements, though. That's probably the most important part. He has 71 endorsements. So if you actually go look at, let's look at, so a news coverage. That's a little weird. I mean, not weird because he has so many of them, but I think this is the same person. I think this was actually the same. Yeah, so, I mean, this could just be a PR company. This is the same person that did Solanax PR. This is the same exact profile, but this actually looks like this is actually a real profile. So this guy, honestly, this guy could just be doing PR for crypto projects. There's a lot of people that do that, and the Solanax guy found him easily as well. So that really doesn't mean anything. But what I like to do is look at just random. Okay, let's click on like a random person. 500 connections. They're also heavily endorsed as well. I like to see that. Let's look at another completely random one. We'll stop here. Come on, Heather. Let's see what you got. 500 plus connections, and she's got solid experience. and she's heavily endorsed as well. So, yeah, I feel really confident that Timo is a live-o. And let's look at this guy as well. Is he endorsed? He's got 10. Let's look at a random person here. Roberta, 500 connections. She's pretty heavily endorsed as well, and decent interest. So, like, yeah, overall, team looks good. And they actually have a real demo of their project and everything. So, I would be really, really surprised if 8X was not real. So, I feel good about the project. Anyways, Nigeria says I won the lottery, 4.7 million. All I have to do is send them 12,000 processing fee. Isn't that great? Yeah, exactly. I know. Just send them the 12 grand. Anyways, yeah, there was an interview with the CMO. Yeah, let's look at the CMO. Let's see if he's got any like SEO. Does the CMO have any SEO? We will CO. Chat with the CMO. I am a robot. And here he is. Let's make sure that this is actually his face. Is this his face? No, Timo. What was this guy's name? Dovadius. Yeah, he's got the little side trim and the blim blim. Let's see. Yep, that's him. So that's really important. Like the projects that if I ever buy a private sale, I am making sure that they're showing their face on a Zoom call. So make sure that the people are real and they've done like interviews, they've had press, they're being endorsed by other people, they have activity on LinkedIn, they have previous experience. That's also one of the reasons why I did buy 8X is because this guy has previous experience with blockchain companies. So he's like worked as like on a board of advisors. He's also a part of a consulting, like a BlockSmart consulting group that he's been a part of for 4 years. And if you go like, you can go look through the companies as well. So, you know, and he's been on ICO bench, and he's mostly been fintech related his entire like career, it looks like. So that's another thing. Those are the things I look for. Hope you guys got value from this video. Make sure to be very, very smart and wise about where you put your money on small caps. I'm telling you, I am actually astonished. This is just one that I went through. I've probably gone through like a dozen that I've found to be not real. And it doesn't take too much time, guys. It takes, sometimes it takes freaking 7 minutes to see them, to look into the people on LinkedIn and realize that they're not real. Not everyone is extremely active on LinkedIn, but if you look through their whole team, you're going to continue to see more and more red flags. So just make sure that you're doing your own research before you get into it. Again, if you can manage to not lose money in crypto, you can end up likely doing really, really well. YaySwap is. So that's another thing is so actually I have not. So first of all, YaySwap doesn't even show their team. This will be the last question I answer, but this is literally the only thing that comes up on YaySwap. So there's literally nothing on YaySwap. They don't show the team at all. Also, if you look at their liquidity, like I actually bought like 20K of YaySwap, and I sold all of it. And by the way, this has happened with SushiSwap as well. So SushiSwap was created from some dude with just a Twitter name online. And then he ended up pulling all of his liquidity. He tanked the price by like 80%. And then it ended up getting taken over by SBF, which is the owner of what's it called? FTX. So Sam actually ended up taking it over, and now they have a whole team behind it, and now it's legit. So like, just because that happens doesn't mean it couldn't do better in the future. But I will tell you that the volume does not look good on YaySwap, and I just don't like projects that don't show their faces. Like, why would I put my money into Yay over 8X?
it just doesn't make, like, when I actually looked into it, I'm like, you know what, this does not make sense. I ended up selling my Yay and just moved it out of X market. So I left 80 grand in ADAX, and it's still at, I don't know, like 120 or something. So that's where we're at with that, guys. I am not buying Yay. And I also, this is another thing I don't like to see, which is does not mean it's a scam either, is this. The Ethereum. Oh, it is listed on Cardano as well. Sometimes the projects will claim that they're a Cardano-based token or they're a Solana-based token when all they are is just an ERC20 that's built on Ethereum. And maybe they have a plan to bridge in the future, but they don't even have, they're not even listed on the exchange or on the chain that they say that they're helping. So that's another thing I'll look at as well. But this one in this case does have, it's both an ERC20 and on Cardano. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. And again, just focus on not losing money, and you're likely